Hello and welcome everybody. We're back today bringing you some quick tips on how to kill Belial in Diablo 3 with the Barbarian in a co-op group. Now, I just want to let you guys know this is normal difficulty, but the tips will help you on any difficulty. Just because, it's not that difficult doesn't mean that you still can't follow the tips, so pay attention. The reason I'm on normal difficulty, just kind of explain this. I have like 4 or 5 different characters that I'm splitting time between, and so I'm trying to bring you, boss fights with each one of the characters so that you guys have, tips and tricks you can use with, every character that you have. So, the Belial fight is split into 3 different kinds of, 3 different stages. First stage, as you guys just saw, was just the snakes. Now, in the second stage right here, Belial comes down and he actually fights you, and there's a bunch of snakes that come down, when he's about 1/3 of the way down with his health. Now, it's not that hard if you're in a co-op group like we're in, and I want to talk about the co-op group, just for a second. I love being in a co-op group when I'm playing Diablo for a couple of different reasons. First reason, you got a bunch of different people, distracting enemies, doing damage, keeping, people from getting ganged up, because you can split the enemies across. The more people there are, the better, they are for doing this. Second, when you're fighting a boss, okay, and they can focus on you, it's really hard to, you can't make any mistakes. It's hard because you have to focus the entire time. You don't have any break. The boss is on you the whole time. When you're in a group like this, you have a bunch of different people who the boss has to focus on to try and kill. So it gives you more time, a little bit more room for error. It's just much more beneficial. Also, you can revive each other. So, even if you die, you still have a chance to, to come back to kill the boss. It's still not that bad. Thirdly, and this is probably my favorite part, when you're in a co-op group and you kill an elite or champion pack, or, like a boss like this, the loot is at least 2 or 3 times better. There'll be times when I'm playing by myself where I'll kill a boss and I'll get 2, maybe 3 magic items. When I kill a boss in like a group like this, like with 4 total people, even in normal, I get like 4 or 5 magic items and 2 or 3, rare yellow items. So that's one of the big reasons that I like to be in it, mostly for the loot. That's what this game's all about, And see, you can see right here, I'm trying to revive my person, which is, what you want to do, which is why being in a co-op group is so helpful. But unfortunately, he just didn't seem to really want to let me revive him. Now, let's talk about some attacks when you're fighting Belial. There's a few things you want to watch out for. Most of them are easy to dodge. One of them isn't. As you can see, when he's about to hit you, those little green circles show up. And he's got 2 different kinds of attacks like that. There's the normal one where he just slams his fist down, and there's about a half-second delay for that, so it gives you a chance to move. And then there's the one where he hits one to the left, once to the right, and then he kind of slams both his fists down in the middle. You're going to want to avoid the one in the middle as much as possible, because that does the most amount of damage. And you have to be a decent amount of distance away from the circles to not get hit, because of how thick his arms are. Now, see right there, you can see that's another one of his attacks. He breathes, that air on you, that poison, I want to call it. And that's not so easy to dodge. It doesn't do too much damage. It's not something you really have to be fearful of. But, obviously damage is something you want to avoid anyway. So, I like being in the corners because that does miss you if you're in the far corners. But the only problem with that is, it's harder to dodge the arm attacks then. Now see this attack right here, that attack is what it will kill you, I want to say 95% of the time. That attack does the most amount of damage out of any of his attacks, and it covers the most area. It's the hardest to dodge. You can see, the circles come up, so you know when they're going to be there, but the problem with it is you have to pay attention to what order the circles come up in. The circles, there's like about a second before they explode, but you have to try and, run circles in between them. You have to look to see when they're coming up, where they're spawning up, and it's very, watch, ready? We'll watch this one right here. Excuse me. You have to see, I'm trying to pay attention to which ones are going to explode in which order, and it's very, very difficult to do. You have to try and move around a lot. Sometimes you get confused, you turn around. One wrong click and you're dead. So I would definitely suggest having a movement skill and an invulnerability skill for that. Otherwise, defense and life aren't too important if you can just get down, his attacks. And then you want to sit there and do as much damage. As a barbarian, like you saw, you just sit there and just kind of, take his attacks, use ignore pain, and you should be good. So have a good day, and thanks a lot, guys.